we good? Hello? Is this working now? I've not tried to go live just innately on YouTube before, so please let me know if this is working at all. Please help me. Hello and welcome. Please let me know if you can see/hear me. If you are watching this afterwards, just know that this is my first time trying to do a live without StreamYard, so if this is not working, no one will know. If it is working, then now you know why I'm awkward in the beginning. So, hello. Again, please let me know if you can see/hear me. Wonderful. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome. For this video, we are going to be doing a deep dive into my YouTube analytics, and I had originally recorded this video already, but I decided that it would, one, it was an hour and a half long, and I don't want to edit that, and two, I figured it'd be more helpful if I did this live, so that way if you guys had questions or wanted me to go into any topic a little bit deeper, that would be helpful. Also, I realized I went off on several tangents, and I didn't know if that would be pertinent or not. So, if you are new here, what I'm discussing is for the month of December 2023, I uploaded a video every day in the month of December. I did this for two reasons. One, because Thriftmas last year was really amazing for my channel, which of course we can get into in a little while to explain why I decided to do Thriftmas this year the way that I did it. Mostly it was because of the results I had for last year, and also I wanted to see if I could do it, because anytime I've tried to upload daily for a month, it has failed, but for some odd reason I managed to achieve it last month. Mostly I think it was because I was trying to work instead of deal with some stuff in my personal life, and that at least helped keep me focused in a way that was healthy. And then also I wanted to test some stuff out as well, because if I'm uploading daily, if I test something out and it doesn't necessarily work, the next video will be fine, right? I'm gonna upload something else, and it's not gonna, if one video performed poorly, the next video will be fine. Hello. Volume is low. Okay. Thanks, Mommy. Hold on, let me delete you for a second. The only way I could do that is to bring the microphone a little bit lower. All right, that still makes it so it's not really super visible, so that's fine. And then, so I wanted to test some stuff out, and then I also wanted to see, because everybody talks about how the AdSense is better in the final month of the year, like the Q4, the AdSense is supposedly better because most people's marketing budgets are going to be higher during the final month of the year because everybody wants that holiday money. And so that's why you see a lot of Vlogmas and Thriftmas going on, both all over YouTube. So you'll see a lot more uploads normally in like November. Like after Thanksgiving, most people put out more content, mostly to get a part of that AdSense. All right, cool. Thank you. That's very kind of you. I actually tried today, so I appreciate that. All right. So what I'm going to do is I am going to show you all my back end and kind of discuss stuff. If you guys do have questions, kind of hold off a little bit. I will ask before I move on to a new section, so that way I can talk about some stuff first, and then I will address and like ask you guys if you have questions before I move on to the next thing, if that would be helpful. That would be helpful for me. So if y'all will do that, that would be great. Hi, Super. Hi, Victoria. Yeah, it's a big change. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys my back end. Also, I feel like there are a lot of people on here who are also YouTubers. Like Paul is an amazing YouTuber, and so is Victoria. Actually, Paul, the fact that you're not a mod is weird. So how do I fix that right now? Add as moderator. There we go. That should be better now. All right. So people who are also YouTubers that maybe have a smaller channel, maybe want to know like what is possible, and people that have a larger channel maybe just want to be comparative and or just are curious like me. I'm super curious about other people's analytics because I'm a numbers nerd. Or people that maybe want to, I guess, maybe have a more realistic view if they are going to start a YouTube channel. So there we go. Hello, everyone. If I have not said hello, everyone. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys my back end now, and not in that way. Victoria, you can go ahead and feel free to giggle now if you'd like. But hello, this is this is December, so you can see up here at the top that this is December for me. Hold on, I'm going to make this a little bit larger for you guys to see. Whee! There we go. So you have me in the corner. Hi, Amber. Yeah, Numbers Nerd, I also figured this would help. So you can see over here, this is the live count. This is you guys right here. All of you watching right now, this number right here. See how high it's gone? That's all of you watching right now, so thank you for that. But this is my full December. So you see up here, it's December 1 to December 31, 2023. You can see I uploaded a video every single day. Every single day. Hello, everyone. Hi, Josh. Hello, Lulu. Hello, Restyle. Yes. So everybody's here. So you can see I uploaded every single day. And I found that very interesting. Like, I find this overall super interesting because roughly for me currently, my average viewership per video is between 500 and 800 views per video. And so if I put out a video and I get between 500 and 800 views, I'm like, it's a standard video. That means my core audience, so the people that normally watch every single video I put out, which to have 500 to 800 of you is a lot, and I'm very grateful for it. But I know that that means my core audience is watching, and it's a standard video. And you can see here that Thriftmas, pretty much standard for me. This one did not perform very well. What is this one? This one is me trying out a thumbnail. That is what that one tells me. This is a thumbnail that was not successful. This was actually a combination of a thumbnail that wasn't successful and also a video concept that wasn't successful, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. But Thriftmas overall was pretty standard. The only reason why this went up is what happened was that I did a video about whatnot, and Josh Harry Tornado shouted me out on his channel, and that is where this bump came from. So that this bump is Josh shouted me out on his channel, which was unexpected. He messaged me afterward so I wouldn't be surprised, which is very kind of him, and so I knew what was going to happen. And then this is Christmas. So a dive took on Christmas because people were doing Christmas things, which totally valid. And then you can see that my viewership was much bigger after Thriftmas. And we're going to get into my content to show you why. Okay? So I talked about the reason why I wanted to do Thriftmas or to do a video every day is because I wanted to see what would happen. Because, you know, there's some talk on YouTube about, you know, put out more is more. Like, I'm also one of those more is more people. That the more content you put out, the more money you'll make, the more chances you are to have something go viral, the more consistent you are. The problem is for me is it's just not sustainable long term. And I just wanted to see if there was any truth to that. I also wanted to test out certain content concepts. So first, before we go into that, I want to show you the reason why I did Thriftmas. So this is this year. So for this year, for the entire month, with me doing a video every day, so 31 videos in total, I did 24,000, over almost 25,000 views. I had almost 5,000 hours of watch time. I gained 188 subscribers, and I made $234, which is the most I've ever made off of YouTube. But I've also never put out 31 videos in a month before. So I'll get into the per hour breakdown as far as money goes. But if we go to subscribers, you can see I had very little growth for the majority of Thriftmas until Josh shouted me out on his channel. And then I had this huge growth, and then it was pretty much nothing until after Christmas was over. And I'll get into the content now. So what this tells me is that my content both the views and this tells me that my content was only being viewed by my core audience. So YouTube did not care about my content at all. YouTube was not throwing me out. My thumbnails, my titles, nothing was appealing to a larger audience. So YouTube was only showing my stuff to my core audience, and those were the only people that were watching it, which is fine for me. But I'm not going to get any growth unless either YouTube decides it wants to throw something out to other people, or somebody with a larger channel shouts me out, which is what happened here. I did not plan this. Josh did this of his own volition. It was very kind of him to do so. But now let's go into the content, okay? Because I want to talk about that a little bit. So if we go into the content, I have not made a video since then. This is also why I kind of wanted to do like a live. Hi, Melissa. It is some nice watch time. But here, let's actually do that because I forgot. I wanted to do that first. So if we go here into this, all right, this is, go back to December. So you can see how much it dropped. I stopped doing daily videos, and this is what's happening. So this tells me that if I am not producing content, my channel will die. Because the only thing that is keeping my channel alive is my core audience wanting to see what I'm doing right now. It means that like my YouTube is not throwing my stuff out to other people, and I don't have enough evergreen content on my channel that people are searching for that YouTube is sharing. So if I don't consistently put out content, my channel is going to die. I do not have a channel that will continue to grow after I stop putting out content or if I take a prolonged break. So that is what this tells me. So we're going to go back to December. And I lost my train of thought. Okay, so never mind. I found it again. All right, so this, we got views, watch time, subscribers, and revenue. All right, the reason why I wanted to do Thriftmas this year was because of how well I performed last year. So now I'm going to, we have 24,000. Actually, I can do it this way. Wow. Maybe we can do it this way. There we go. Come on. I see you there. Weep. And then we're going to go, there we go. Wow. Now you can see you guys' self over here, but I'm going to use my fancy, there we go. All right, there we go. Now we can do a comparative here. And I'm going to try to make you guys, there we go. Look at that. Look at me being all fancy and stuff. All right. All right, so we have 2023 on the left, and we have 2022 on the right. Evergreen content is content that regular people search for. So evergreen content would be something like my cleaning video, where people are always going to search, you know, where a general audience is going to search. Somebody's going to type in how to get stains out of clothing. That video I made at the beginning of the month in December would show up as a regular search results. Versus like a 50-piece thrift haul, which is right over here, right, is not necessarily going to be something so somebody types in. Nobody's typing in, I want exactly 50 pieces and I want to see a thrift haul. Nobody's searching that, but people are going to search, how do I get stains out of fabric? Or how do I clean clothes for cheap? Or people are going to ask, evergreen content would be, how do I do a whatnot auction, which I will talk about later. Yeah, I'm doing some stuff. So if we come over here, right? All right. If we look up here, this is 2022. I made 21 videos in 2022. So I made 10 less videos in 2022 that I did for 2023. And I got 4,600 more views by putting out 10 more videos. Okay? So if you do the math, all right, 10 more videos, 4,600 more views. What did I say my core audience amount of viewership was? Between 500 and 800. So if you do 4,600 views and divide that by the 10 extra videos I did, that means I added, each video that I did extra was 460 more views, which is less than I average normally, which to me is the couple of underperforming videos I did for 2023. Because I did have a couple of underperforming videos for 2023. So the extra effort in views, the extra effort in putting out more videos did not denote in more views. I'm not going to do a quiz at the end. In addition, if we do watch time, I got 1,100 more hours in 1,100 more hours in watch time. So I got 101 more hours per video, okay? Which is also underperforming for my channel. The average watch time for one of my videos, based on my content, is normally between 115 and 150 hours of watch time. So that also tells me that I put in more work and got a lower return on my investment this year for Thriftmas than I did in 2022. Also, if you look at the subscribers here, okay, we're going to go back to the subscribers, okay, and we're going to go subscribers here. Look at my subscribers here. I didn't get a shout out from anybody else last year, but more of my videos went out to a wider audience last year. So I got a couple of peaks here versus I only have one peak here. And this is from, again, Josh shouting me out. So this again shows me that my content was punted out to a larger audience in 2022, even though I was making similar content, versus me making the same content this year, but not getting the same benefit. I don't know what that means. Also, I did make more money this year. So that's great. But I also, as I said, put out way more content. So I would like to get into that for a second. If I did not have this bump right here from Josh shouting me out on his channel, I would have actually received less subscribers this year from organic viewership than I did last year, which is very frustrating when you're putting out a video every day. So I did more work this year and had a less return on my on my investment, which, as someone who does business, because this is a business, that's very frustrating. So if we go over here and we go up here to this $234.22, which I said is more money than I have ever made on YouTube. I normally rarely hit $100 on YouTube in a month because I put out roughly between 10 and 16 videos a month. I don't have a regular upload schedule. I'm not like Paul. I can't be that consistent. This is the most consistent I've ever been in my life. I can't because of my health issues and because of my personal life and because of my ADHD and the autism. It's just so hard. Whereas now that I've been doing this every day, it's really hard to not want to put out a video every day because I feel like I have to do it, which is just part of my mental illness. But we're going to go over here to this dollar amount, all right? $234.22. So I added up all of the time that I put out. So the total amount, how do I say this? So all 31 videos, I added up the total runtime of all 31 videos that I put out. And I put out a total of 830 minutes of content for the month of December. And I've talked about before that for me, it takes roughly, for every 10 minutes of footage that you guys see, it takes me about an hour to edit that. So if I put out a total of 830 minutes of content for you guys to watch, that means it took me 83 hours total in December, roughly, to edit all of that footage. Now, I'm not counting the time that I filmed in the store or the time I filmed the actual video. I'm just talking about my editing time. So if we're just talking about my editing time to create the final product, and we take into the fact that I made $234.22, that means if I paid myself just my editing time and not the time of actually filming the sit down and haul part. Now, I'm not going to talk about the filming the in the store parts for the videos because I would be thrifting anyway, and pressing the button is a negligible amount of time. So I made $2.52 an hour to edit YouTube content for the month of December, which is, you know, if I was waiting tables and getting tips, that would be minimum wage. But if it's, you know, actually minimum wage, it is like a third of regular minimum wage. So why am I not super upset about that? That is because, one, I did this because I wanted to see if I could do it, and two, I wanted to learn stuff. So let's find out what I learned. First of all, I learned that my content is not something that YouTube cares about at all. And I don't know if that is from my titles or my thumbnails. And because of that, that is why I experimented a lot with my content for this month, which is another reason why I decided to do this. So we're going to go and look at my content for this month. We're going to go all the way down here to the bottom. And then we're going to go to the very beginning of the month. No, I understand that. Like, okay. Part of the reason why I do YouTube is because I enjoy it, which it should be the number one reason why you do YouTube. It shouldn't be for financial gain, because the likelihood of you making a good living off of YouTube is very, very small. They're very small. The reason why you should do YouTube is because you enjoy doing it, which I do it. The other reason I do YouTube is to hold myself accountable, because I don't have my own boss. I have ADHD and I have autism. So if I don't have any kind of outside pressure to get something done, it is diminishing returns as to if I'm actually going to get that thing done or not. So by filming it, or by setting a schedule in which I'm putting out videos on a certain thing that I am doing, I am more likely to do that because I have to put it out on the internet. So you guys are really my boss. That is how I am viewing that. So that's why I do it. I do it, one, because I enjoy it, and two, because it helps hold me accountable, because I need that outside pressure in order to be able to continue to perform. Thank you, guys. So, all right. So this is also the reason I did this every month, is because I wanted to test some stuff out. Okay. I will go over like the whole year in just a minute, because I feel like that's pertinent, but let's go over just the month of December. So this is the first Thriftmas video. Okay. So the first Thriftmas video I'm going to make is this basic tee is $40, first day of Thriftmas. I get 942 views, 48 comments, and 96 likes. Okay. So this is great. This is, as I mentioned, 500, 800 views is normal viewership. This means that you guys are super excited about Thriftmas, more than my average viewership is watching. Love this. This is amazing. I also get 10% likes. So that's great. That means I have 10% of my audience that watched my video like the video. So that means you guys are engaged. For me personally, and as a general metric, if you have 8% of your current audience engaged with your content, that is a very healthy channel. So let me do math. So for me, as someone who has roughly 4,500 subscribers, if I get like the high end of my core audience views, which is around 800, 4,500 divided by 800, that is not how that math works. I did that the wrong way. All right. So on the high end, if 800 people view my regular content, then that means I have 17% engagement rate. Okay. And if 17% of the people watch my videos, and then 10% of those people engage with the content that they watched. And then that's how I view how engaged people are. And then we have comments here. So half of these comments are mine because I try to respond to all of you. Sometimes I'm good at that, sometimes I'm not. I'm sorry about that. But, you know, if this comment section is half of this, then I'm happy. Oh no, you don't sound snarky. I'm just trying to answer the question. If I'm very tired right now, I've spent all day walking, so please, I'm just trying to like explain why, because that's an honest question. Like that's a common feedback I got, especially after like the videos I made towards the end of the month. And that's why also I wanted to do this live, is because I wanted to answer a lot of those questions, or a lot of the feedback that was done in good faith that is not applicable to me. And I wanted to be able to answer that wholly instead of just typing like several paragraphs in comment section. So if I can have this video there. But so this means everybody's super excited about Thriftmas. That's great. And so we go here. All right, and so this is every other video, okay? So now let's look at the videos that performed poorly, okay? I did not expect my what sold videos to do well at all. So if you look at this, if you look at the first Thriftmas video, and you see, you guys can't see what I'm seeing because my head's in the way. Here we go. Let's move this. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's make this fun. I forgot I have to do this for this part of the video. Nope, that was the wrong thing to do. I'm so sorry. I just flipped that upside down. That's not helpful for anybody but me. All right, I'm going to flip myself upside down. That's... I need to... There we go. Click the camera. There we go. Now I can be up here and we can have a conversation. Okay. So, if I look down here, so you guys can see, because my head's not in the way anymore. We're going to scoot this over so you guys can see the likes and stuff. This video was my first what sold video. We're going to look at my first what sold video. So this is me sharing my sales with y'all. And this is also a Bronco sale video. So this is... The reason why I do my Ford Bronco videos is, one, it's a what sold video to show what kind of like money you can make off of free inventory. But two, I've noticed that it's watched by my core audience, and you guys really care about that. And that just means you guys care about me as a person, because you see that this one has 400 less views, but almost as many likes. And what this tells me is that my core audience cares about me, which is very humbling. I can answer that in just a moment. Let me do this real quick before, so that way I don't lose my train of thought, okay? Also, if we come down here, this is that evergreen content I was talking about, where I was talking about, like, first of all, I should have made this such a long time ago because so many people, whenever I talk about getting stains out of a garment and it sells or it's worth a lot of money, but people pass on it because they don't want to get the stains out, so many times that people have asked about this video. So this video has quite a few views, but has more likes than normal on my channel. Now, hello. We're going to go full face again because I want to address like an elephant in the room. So I'm talking to you guys about subscribers and likes and comments and stuff. When a YouTuber asks you to like, share, or subscribe, or check out a sponsor, those are called calls to action, okay? In the business of YouTube, that is called a call to action. I don't do that in my videos at all. You may see that maybe once or twice in my very early videos on this channel, which nobody watches anyway except for Donna. But the reason why I don't do calls to action in the majority of my videos, the only time I really do a call to action would be to ask you guys a question and to leave the answer in the comments, or if I'm doing collaboration with some of my friends and I'll ask you to go check out their videos, is because that's not how I use YouTube. So I don't ask people to subscribe to my content. I don't ask people to like my videos. I don't ask people to share my videos. I don't do any of that stuff. And that's because I'm not going to ask you to do something that I don't do myself. And I feel like I'm just going to share how I use YouTube. So I have, my own subscriptions, which I don't have public because I don't need that stress or like, why isn't this person subscribed to this person? Blah, 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 blah. I don't want that. So that's why that's private, is because I don't need that in my life. The way I use YouTube is that if I see someone in my homepage that I've never watched before, but they look like they have an interesting video or topic or an interesting thumbnail, I will go click on that video and I watch the video. If I like the video, I will then go to their channel and watch at least 4 or 5 other videos of theirs that has either a topic or a thumbnail that I find interesting. Then, if I like all of those videos, that is when I subscribe to that channel. I don't like most content. And by saying like I don't like it, I mean like I don't hit the like button, because that doesn't do anything for me as a viewer, because that's not how I use YouTube. Normally the way the like button works now is it will show you similar content to the content that you've liked. That's not really going to work for me because I know what I like, and most of the time YouTube doesn't recommend content to me that is similar to what I already like. I'd rather find other YouTubers from people that I already watch and know and trust, and watch content that they've recommended to me, like in collabs and stuff. I randomly sometimes will find somebody organically. Now, also, I don't do the like subscribe because it doesn't do the same thing it used to do anymore in the back end. So YouTube has been around since 2005, okay? It's been around it's 19 years now, okay? YouTube's been around for 19 years. The like button has been around since 2010. So the like button has been around for 14 years. Up and until about 5 years after the like button came out, if you hit the like button, the algorithm did actually do something for you. It actually helped recommend your channel more, the more people liked your content. But the problem is that a lot of people started buying subscribers and started buying likes. People still do that. And so because of that, the amount of weight that subscribing or liking a channel doesn't push it out in the algorithm more. It's more your own personal algorithm. Yes. So no, you don't, please, Donna, you don't have to have that happen. I'm just trying to tell you how YouTube works now. So like, if you watch any of my really older channels that aren't attached to this one, I used to ask people to subscribe or like, and that is because of the fact that it used to do something then. It doesn't really do the same thing anymore, so I also don't do that. Also, it just feels icky to say that because I want, very maybe naively, that people will subscribe to me because they like my content, or people will like my content because they like the content. Or what I care about more is the comments because that's more important to me. And for me, like I just said, I don't really use the like button. And I told you guys how I use the subscribe button. I will comment on a video before I will like the video. So again, that's the reason I will actually comment on videos that I don't subscribe to. For channels I don't subscribe to, if I like that particular video. For me, a comment is a more indication of engagement than the other points. So yeah, so that's how I use it. And if that's not how you use it, but that's why I don't do that. Because some people will like, maybe you should put a like button in there, or maybe you should tell people to subscribe. I don't want to do that. And I know that that is not normal. But I'm going to take a break from showing you guys my video content for a second to show you why I don't do that. And that is because if I go to my analytics again, all right, and we're going to go to my audience. So in the month of December, this is why. If the subscribe number was less, like if these two numbers were flip-flopped, then yeah, maybe I might think about telling people to subscribe or like a channel. But the people that are watching my content are already subscribed to me. So why would I tell people that are already watching my content that are subscribed to subscribe to my channel? Like, again, as I mentioned before, talking about Thriftmas, you can't see me. Okay, here we go. Hi. I'm still upside down. It's fine. I like how I was making that point and then not showing you my point. Okay, so if I go to my audience, okay? If I go to my audience, 69.8% is subscribed. The majority of people that are watching my content are already subscribed to my content. Again, my content gets thrown out to the people that subscribe to me. It rarely goes out to people that are not subscribed to me. Also, like, the people that are not going to know how YouTube works are going to be people that are in this demographic here, all right? You've got 13 to 17, 18 to 24-year-olds, 25 to 34-year-olds. Like, this demographic that I have 0% in are going to be the ones that maybe don't know how YouTube works or don't know to like or subscribe or whatever. But even then, most of these kids are like, you know, as soon as they get enough hand coordination, they're on a tablet or on a phone or whatever and know how to do all the things. So even then, the kids know how to like and subscribe to stuff. So because YouTube's been around so long, you know how to use YouTube. If you like something, like it. If you like something enough to talk to somebody about it, comment on it. If you liked a lot of that person's content, subscribe to it. I don't need to tell you how to use YouTube. You're an adult, because again, all of my viewers are adults. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Again, you do you. That is like the main point of my channel. You do you. I'm not going to tell you how to use YouTube. I'm not going to tell you to like, subscribe, or whatever. I might ask a question, be like, hey, let me know if you've done this or heard of this before. But I'm not going to tell you to do anything, because that's not, I don't need to do that. Thank you, Naughty Thrifts. Yeah, but I personally, like, I'm not going to do that. So, most people are subscribed to my content. Even if I go up here, whee! Oh, that's something I don't even want to go into right now. Why is this like this? All right, so let's go for the whole year now, okay? Let's go for the whole year. Last 365 days, all right? Whee! That's fun. All right, so this is super fun to look at. Said nobody ever. Oh, God, I hate looking at this. All right. So this is another great graph to look at. It looks super confusing to most people. Here, let me flop me back normal, because I'm going to be able to talk about this. Then we'll go back to my content so I can go back into the deep dive of my content. Gosh darn it, why did I do it that again? I keep doing the wrong thing. Flip me. I want to be flipped. Flip me around. There we go. All right, now I can move down here. Hi again. Oh, I mean, the reason why I'm going to do this live is so that way I can see this. That's okay. You guys can tell me whatever you want. All right. Normally when somebody okay, so again, nobody's going to convince me when I'm watching their video to like or subscribe to their whatever video I'm watching at all. Normally, if I'm watching one of my friends that I'm already subscribed to and they tell me to subscribe, I will check my subscription to make sure I'm still subscribed to them, because I have been unsubscribed before and I did not press that button, sometimes you will randomly get unsubscribed from people that you are subscribed to. So that's normally the only thing that happens when someone tells me to subscribe, mostly because I only watch people that I'm subscribed to already. It's okay. Hey, that's okay. You don't have to comment. Like I said, if you're watching my content at all, it's great. You don't have to be subscribed to me. If you randomly found me one time, anybody who's watched any of my videos, awesome. But let me talk about this graph for a minute. All right, so this is the whole year. All right, this is the whole of last year. You have two color lines here. You have the purple line, which is my normal viewership. So these are people that have already watched my channel at least once and or are subscribed to me. So they regularly watch my content. And then you have the green line, which are new people, which means YouTube is saying, hey, you might like this person. So let's go through here and see what videos. I can already tell you exactly which videos they are. All right, so this one right here, this is when Josh shouted me out. That is what this line is right here. That is Josh shouting me out. I know what this one is, all right? I can tell you without looking at my content for the year exactly what videos these are. It is all these 4 peaks right here in the green are me doing a day in the life video, or me doing a week in the life video, and or me having a title that has a high percent sell-through rate. That I had 4 videos that YouTube decided to punt out to the world of its own volition. And 2 of them were my, I failed at listing a bunch of stuff that week, and or this thing has a super high sell-through rate. Everything else is my normal viewership. Some things like this, so I kind of want to check what May 7th is, because that's kind of interesting to me. I don't know what that one is. And then we have this one here, which is May 29th. Everything else is pretty much I know what it is. What is this one? I think that's just because it's close to this one. So sometimes I'll go in here and look at this, like if there's a long trend. Oh, here, let's do this. So we got 7th, 29th, March 31st. So this will be a good way. It's good to look at this, like overall, to see what content is working for your channel. So this is February 13th. Just to see, okay, if I see something that has almost equal new viewers, equal returning viewers, it's either evergreen content or something that YouTube decided was interesting to more people. Let's look at September 16th too. Misery Loves Company. Oh, they're equal, hun. Just like likes and dislikes are the same. Likes and dislikes are the same amount of engagement. It's just that if you like something, it'll show you more content similar to your content with the tags. So if you liked a video that said, Poshmark seller or full-time Poshmark seller, and you liked a video, chances are you'll see more full-time Poshmark sellers, or it'll give you videos that have that more as a topic. Versus if you dislike that video, it'll show you less of that content. But as far as the YouTuber goes, it's still engagement, so it gave strong enough reaction. Any kind of engagement is kind of equivalent on here, at least for me personally. I got my Bronco in July. Now you know how to dislike it. All right, so let me go ahead and show you those videos that I was talking about for 2023 that I said were the big spikes. So let me go. So we go to the content, all right. I'll go back to the original December topic, but I kind of want to show you overall. So we're going to show this to 50 per row. All right, and I'm going to show you the ones that had the big spikes. It'd probably be easiest to do it this way. What? All right, that's for the lifetime. All right, this is not helpful. I'll go back to the way it was. All right, there we go. So we have here, we're going to move this over so you guys can see the likes again. Okay. So we're going to scroll down. And then we're going to go to the next one. Is it the next one? Okay, here we go. I got to turn myself upside down again. Dang it. I have to turn myself upside down again. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to do it right this time where it's just going to be me. Yay, I did it right that time. All right, here I am upside down. Here is this video. So this video, 4,000 views. 4,000 people watch this. This is an exceptional video for my channel. We can go into analytics here, maybe. Okay. And then we're going to have to move this over. I can stay upside down though, so that works. This is one that got punted out by YouTube. This right here shows that YouTube picked this up and set this out. You can also see how many subscribers I got from this video, again, because it got picked up and punted out. And now if you go to the audience, not subscribed, it's complete opposite. These numbers are exactly the opposite of my normal viewership. And if you look here, you can see that. This is my returning viewers watched. And because all of my returning viewers watched it and watched it for a long time and interacted with it, YouTube was like, oh, well, your regular viewers like this, so let me go give it to everybody else. And that's what happened here. So that's why this number, you can see that it flip-flopped. So normally what happened, I know how the TikTok algorithm works more precise than I do the YouTube algorithm. They're a little bit more secretive with their algorithm, but the TikTok one is a lot easier. But the more engagement you get with your regular viewership to your video when it first comes out, and that includes watch time. That's not necessarily liking or commenting. It's more has to do with how many people are clicking on your video and then watching your video for like the first 2 minutes and then are still watching after that. So it's like a 30-second time check. It's like a 10-second time check, a 30-second time check, and then a 2-minute time check. And if all those are reached and then there's a really nice amount of watch time after that, that's normally indicating to YouTube like, oh, this is a good video. I'm going to ship this out to new people. And so that's what happened here. And so this means that a whole bunch of new people found my channel, which was nice. And I think it's because this was a perfect combination of topic, thumbnail, and title. It is this thumbnail, just, I look miserable because I felt miserable. I was so frustrated. And, you know, maximum effort, minimum. It was just a good combination of all three things. And I will talk to you guys about my YouTube thumbnails. I don't spend a whole lot of time on it. I know you should, but I don't. All of my thumbnails, guys, come from a screenshot somewhere in the video. Like, I didn't specifically make this face to do a cool thumbnail. Like, this is a point in the video that I just was like, click, and then put it in Canva and put some words on it. So that's how that happened. I don't spend forever trying to make the perfect face or hold the perfect pose or do the special thing. I don't do that. Not to say that people that don't do that are not, they're absolutely doing the correct thing, because the thumbnail is actually the most important thing. That's what's going to get somebody to click on your video, is the thumbnail. That is the most important thing, honestly, in your video, is the thumbnail. And that is the thing I spend the least amount of time on. So, you know, if someone is spending more time on their thumbnail and getting the perfect picture, That's better for YouTube. I'm honestly doing the wrong thing there. It does, but I don't. Flipping for change, it does, but I don't make enough money off of YouTube for that. Even if like all of you did that, it doesn't matter. It's not enough. I don't, Kathy, I'm not going to do that. Because the reason why I do it this way is because it's genuine. I know the YouTube things I'm supposed to do. I am trying to figure out a way to do them in an organic and genuine way. For example, this. This is me in the video. This is how I actually felt. This is what I talked about in the video. I am trying to do this. I am trying to do YouTube in a genuine way. So that's what I'm trying to do, and I will talk about that when we talk about the other videos. So let me go back down here and we will talk about the other ones, okay? So let's see here. Here's another one. Here's the exact same topic. This was a point in the video. I made this stupid face. And I did try. I tried and I failed. It's okay to fail. It is okay to fail. I tried. This is my first time trying to do this. It's okay to fail. That's what I'm saying. Like, and this is another video that did very well. But I can't do this all the time. This would depress me to do this all the time. I don't want to fail all the time. That sucks. But these are two things that performed well that are similar, that I was able to put out this content because it was organic to what I was doing. Could I edit less in thumbnail more? No. I don't want to do that. That's what I'm trying to get across to you, Resell Secrets. I don't want to do that because it doesn't feel genuine. So I will get into that more in just a minute. Okay, so let me show you the other topic that did really well. This is the other one that did really well. This is me doing a what sold video, okay? This is me talking about what sold. This one had over 400% sell through, and it was a brand that nobody talks about on Reselling YouTube. Now, I don't watch all of Reselling YouTube, so maybe somebody in the hundreds and thousands of reselling channels has talked about this. But most of the people that reacted to this have not heard of this brand before. I get that. But the thing is I keep hoping I'm going to be Jenna Marbles and I'll be fine. But I'm not Jenna Marbles, so that won't happen. Because she is basically everything I want to be on YouTube. So there is that. But this one is a true statement. So over 400% sell through. I talked about this one brand, and in my opinion, nobody picks up this brand. So this performed very well. Again, around 4,000 views. It got punted out. The other one that did well was a similar titled item. Where are you? You're pretty much close. I think it's the same thing. Yeah, okay. So I saw that this video performed well. So over 100% sell through. No one's talking about this fast selling brand. All right. So I saw that this video did well with the 200 or the 2,000 views. And so I decided, because it fit for this video, to do it again. And that did even better. So that's the thing. Like, if I focus on sell-through rate in a video and do a what sold video, and I'm also talking about brands that not only have a high sell-through rate, but also are not brands that most people know about, those are things people want to imbibe on YouTube. So that could be something that if I'm having a lull on YouTube, that I can try to create a content around that specific item. But how many times am I going to find those items? Both of those items that had that high sell-through rate, I rarely find in my area. So, And Jen, I think that's why I have like I have a very engaged core audience, and like I said, I'm very grateful, and it's because I know that people that watch my content regularly care about me as a person and care about what I'm doing. And honestly, for me, that's more important to me, because I feel like that just means that like it's, I don't know. To me, that's more important. So there's that. So we're going to go back to what I made in December. But that's two things that I know are successful on my channel. If I do like a week in the life and I suck at it, people want to watch that. If I talk about high sell-through items that are not common high sell-through items, people want to watch that. So that's something that like I go back and learn from. All right. I also want to kind of find out what these other couple of videos were. The 16th. Okay, so this is another one where it is the most stupid thumbnail. This is such a dumb thumbnail. It's just $100 and a little arrow. It doesn't have any other words on it. It just is showing this one Gunny Sacks dress I found. That's it. And it has, I can't believe I found this at my small town thrift. This is one of those where there's so little to it that makes you want to click on it. So that's the other, so this is another one that performed well, that got put out to new subscribers, or got put out to new people that aren't subscribed. And then let's go to May, because there were two in May, the 29th and the 7th. Okay, so what is it here? Ah, okay. So this was a combination of two things. One of them is a ThreadUp box. Most ThreadUp boxes have good performance for new subscribers because there are a lot of people that are searching for ThreadUp box content. So what YouTube will do is they'll put out the most recent content by that whatever box it is, and then also they'll put out the most viewed content based on your own likes and subscriptions. So ThreadUp content is always quick and easy content that normally gets views. The second one is this one, which is I Can't Say No to Goodwill, which is the haul video. So it's just a combination of the two of these together, which is why I got the viewership that I did there. So that makes sense there too. We're doing this part together because I actually didn't do this when I filmed this video. Okay, and the next one is this one, which is again another miserable video. Why? Why do people want to watch miserable content? So this is another video that more people got to see, was me having slow sales. I guess a lot of other people were having slow sales at the time. That's so weird. Oh, thank you, Restyle. But, okay, so the last one would be in February. So we're going to go back here to February. So it's this one and this one. So again, I messed up. And then talking about how good my sales are. So if I have really good sales or I mess up, that's where we're at right now. I'm sorry, that's just super funny to me. Okay. All right, so let's go back to talking about Thriftmas in general, okay? So we're going to go back to dashboard, and then we're going to go back to content. And then we're going to go squish. It's thinking about it. It's going to think real hard. Okay. So while this is figuring out if it wants to load or not, I guess I should ask, do you guys have any questions that I've been ignoring? Because I'm sure you've asked some questions and I've missed them. Because I'm trying to make sure I talk about this, because I am going to leave this live on my channel. So if people are like looking for this information. All right. So what's my favorite type of content to make? Oh, that's the beginning. Look at the beginning of my channel. Look how young I look. Look at my old office. God, I was a baby. It's not that long ago. It's like 4 or 5 years ago. I think it's just the last few years of the pandemic. You can't even see what I'm looking at, so it doesn't matter. All right. My favorite type of content to make? I don't think I have a favorite kind of content to make. There, to me, it's not a favorite. It's a what is easier to make. I hate making what sold videos. I hate making them. They take the longest to edit. They're the most time consuming. I like making like a week in the life videos because they're super easy to edit. It's just filming little clips and then putting them all together, and those are the easiest to make. So I guess I like that the most. Hauls are easy to make. Shopping is actually easier to make now that I've figured out that point of view camera. I mean, I know you guys, I continue to make the what sold videos despite there being the least favorite content I make because it's content that I watch a lot because I, like you guys, find that the most helpful. Like, what does sell well and what doesn't sell well. I don't want to post shorts. Victoria, you're a doll. I don't know. Become autistic, I guess. Is there better impact for a creator for a comment versus a like? That's a multifaceted question because it depends on what level you are as a creator. So it depends on your engagement rate overall. So right now, also another reason why I don't ask people to like subscribe or comment on most of my videos. One is because you guys normally do that anyway. So if you look here, you guys can't see here. Let me move myself back down to the bottom. All right. If I were at the point where advertisers, oh God, I flipped this the wrong way again. Now we're all upside down. If I was at the point where we were at the point where I was going to get sponsors, okay? The engagement rate is the most important thing that they are interested in because your engagement rate more directly ties into your conversion rate. And I don't know why I just clicked that. Sorry for the two of you I did not answer to on that video. I will answer it at some point in the next week. All right. So for me personally, what I care about on my channel is that my engagement rate stays at more than 10% on my channel. So that means that more than 10% of my viewers are watching my videos and more than 10% of those people are liking my content without me having to ask them, because that just means you guys generally like my content. And that I know that if more people are commenting on my videos, then that means they care about what the topic was of that video that I made. Now, again, this is coming from a channel that does not tell people to like, subscribe, or comment. So if you're someone that does that, your metrics are going to be different. Your ability to weight those metrics are going to be different. As someone that doesn't tell people to do that, and yet you guys still do that, to me means that I'm not having a biased, there's no bias towards success. It is just my channel is being successful, and this is stuff that is successful because it is successful. It is the quality of the content that being made and the engagement of my audience with myself, and not with appeasing the YouTube gods or whatever. So if something like this, all right, and the reason why that is because I personally feel that when I get to the point of when I think about doing sponsored content, that I will have a better conversion rate towards my sponsors because I have built more trust with you guys, because I'm not going to tell you guys or ask you guys to have a call to action unless it's something that I believe in, which is a negotiating point when I do have those conversations, which I'm not having any of those conversations right now. So I have had those conversations in the past with my Twitch audience when I'm doing Twitch. So that's why I bring that up. They are the least viewed, and there's a good reason for that. I don't know if Paul's still here. He's probably living his best life, but it's because there is a difference. It's been proven by multiple individuals. If you look at a lot of the larger channels, like if you look at there's like if you look at Kevin from Commonwealth Picker, he has like a channel that does his what solds and does his shipping, and he has a channel where he just goes picking. ADHD Dave does the same thing, where he has a channel that just picks his orders and shows his sales, and he has a channel where he just goes out and shops. It is because there is a direct proven thing that people that want to watch what sold videos have a tendency to only want to watch the what sold videos, and the same kind of people that want to watch the picking videos only want to watch people shopping. There's not as much crossover between the two as one would think. So that's why that is. But to me, as far as this goes, so okay, let me show you this thing, which I also thought was really interesting. So we're going to go back to the December, all right? Thriftmas. Regular viewership. This is Josh being amazing and shouting me out. This is Christmas, which I don't expect anybody to watch me on Christmas because you guys should be enjoying your family. And then we have this increase. Look at this. This is higher even than when a channel with almost 400,000 subscribers shouts me out. And this is because of the content I was making. It is this content. It is me talking about my mess and me talking about how crappy my goals ended up being. And also like just watching me set up for the next year and just talk about in general. So I'll talk about that in a minute, Resile. So what this shows to me is that Thriftmas, you guys liked Thriftmas. My core audience loved Thriftmas. You guys showed up for me. My core audience enjoyed that content. YouTube did not. But what this shows me here is that this, if I go to analytics for this one, and I go to the audience here, wow, apparently women, high five, we're all messy individuals. But my regular audience really, really enjoyed this. And also, if I go here to the subscribers, I got more subscribers from this. It just seemed like reach. This is the browse feature. What are they asking about? Reselling me. Oh, look. YouTube search term. I'm a search term. That's adorable. What is Helpsy? Oh, Lori Tata. I love Lori. You're talking about search terms. This is like reselling clothes. This is such a random assortment of things. I don't have there's a plugin that you can buy that a lot of the, what is happening? Why is this glitching? Okay, are you done now? Okay, I think it's done having its tantrum. No, it is not. All right, goodbye. We're gonna go back to this. Hopefully it's done. I don't know what YouTube was doing, but it really wanted me to see that screen. That's interesting. Yeah, TubeBuddy. Some people do TubeBuddy. I'm sorry, I got distracted by the flashing screen that wouldn't go away. And then we're going to go to this one, which is another one that performed very well. And then we're going to go to the audience here. And the audience again. Apparently this means you guys, what this tells me, the two videos where I'm talking about, hey, look at my mess. This tells me that my core audience cares about me. They are very interested in me, in my life. I just also happen to be a reseller. That the things that I am currently going through in my life are what people are commiserating with. They are identifying with. They care about. because either something, they're dealing with something similar as far as the mess. I got so many comments about people trying to struggle to deal with their own reselling death piles, and then also people talking about how hard this year was. And I think I performed better at the end of the month. My YouTube channel performed better at the end of the month because it was more content that wasn't just, it was still reselling related, but it was more personal. And that's actually really humbling for me, because if you look at the likes here, especially when I'm talking about my goals, which you can't see because this screen is not wanting to move. There we go. Whee! The one here, this is the most likes I had on a video, I think, the entirety of Thriftmas, was me talking, like, this honestly surprised me. I was so upset this day, like, one, because of what's going on. I will promise I will talk about what's going on in my personal life. I will be able to talk about that in a couple of weeks, because that's when it's going to come to somewhat of a resolution. And I'm not going to talk about it now because I'll cry, and it's not the place for it. But I was so frustrated on this day, and the fact that this video is dark and out of focus, and yet it got so many views and also, like, so many likes. To me, this means that, like, I can be genuine and honest, and people care, and that can be successful. I just don't know how to make that every time, because I don't know what to do there. But it just proves to me that you guys care, and that means a lot to me. And it also just shows that, like, I need to make more content like that, where it's just maybe me. And that's also why I decided to do this as a live, because I haven't done a live in a while. I haven't just talked to you guys in a while. I mean, I talk to you guys every time I turn on the camera, but... Well, Sonny, hi, honey. Sonny's been going through it, too. I know, I mean, that meant a lot when you guys left a lot of comments like that. It's been a really rough couple of months. Okay, we're gonna move on. But, yeah, so... I wanted to try a bunch of different stuff for December. We're gonna go back. We're gonna rein myself in so I don't cry, because if I think about stuff too long, I'll get upset. But I wanted to try a bunch of things, and because I was putting out a video every day, that meant that I knew that if I tried something and it didn't work, there's gonna be another upload the next day, and so it wouldn't mess up my algorithm too much. It wouldn't mess up my channel too much. So let's go look at that. All right, so we have this video here, which is the evergreen content, you know, me talking about how I remove stains. And this got quite a few likes over here by my head, right there, which means that that's something you guys really did want, and I should have put it out sooner. Now, if we go up here to this Kuji collection one, this one actually underperformed. This performed much worse than I thought it was going to. Honestly, like, especially with, you know, 90s and Y2K being all the rage, I really thought that the fact that I lucked into this giant Kuji collection, that, like, this video was going to do something, and it didn't. Like, you guys watched it, but I guess, like, because you guys weren't jiving with it, that, or as much as I thought you guys would, it just didn't really go anywhere. Like, and that's fine. So that was a video I thought would do well that didn't do well. So I'm fine with being the only one that gets excited about Kuji, because that's just more for me. I guess maybe if I found one of the sweaters and I put that as the thumbnail, because, like, that's everybody's bolo, right? Everybody wants a Kuji sweater. Everybody wants an easy, like, $150 to $250, right? Although I'd probably keep it if it was my size. So that one didn't perform well. Um, this one didn't perform very well, and I did that on purpose because it didn't feel genuine to me to put the sell-through rate in there, because the sell-through rate on the Robo Toll is over 100%, is 100%. But it's like that because there's none listed. This is such a rare print to find in Beta Brand that I felt disingenuous by putting like, this pattern is 100% sell-through rate, blah, 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 blah. It felt disingenuous because the likelihood of you finding this one specific thing from this one specific brand, it wouldn't have been a good thumbnail. So there's that. And then I wanted to test some other stuff out. So I've seen, a lot of discourse on reselling YouTube this year, and, in general, has been the increase of pricing in thrift stores. So I've seen several thumbnails, titles about that. So I figured I'd try that and see how it would work for my channel. Y'all did not like that. You did not like these two videos here. Are the worst performing videos. Now, I'm also shopping in a restore, and I know that my restores are special. These were also the stores I found the least amount of stuff in, so it could be like number of factors. But both of these where I said like it was too expensive or I was disappointed in the items did not perform very well. I can't. Okay, Donna. There's this stupid little heart over here. I can't see your comment, Donna. Oh. I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for other people because I don't look at other YouTubers' back ends. But, for me, if 10% of the people like my video, I feel like that's great because I don't tell people to like my video. So there is that. So I know that this is not something I can do. I tried it twice. Both times did not perform well, so I didn't do it again. The next one that I tried was... this one did well, but this was also a collaboration, and I've talked about before that ThreadUp boxes do well no matter what. ThreadUp boxes are probably the easiest reselling content that you can make as a reseller. Oh, they're kind of awesome, especially if you really like selling books and if you have extensive hard good knowledge, because then you can find the things that the restore doesn't price. This is the other one that did really well. This is another thing that I was trying. So I've also noticed that another thing that has been working well for some of the people that I watch, that I like to watch. Diane, you're very sweet. Thank you. That's very kind of you to send $10. Was this one. So has been this video style, the thumbnail video style. Here, let me move you over so you guys can see. Is this style where they have the in-store shot and then they have themselves holding whatever the fancy thing is, and then their title or their thumbnail has some kind of dollar amount talking about how much it retails for. This, again, as I've talked about, I have to be genuine with my thumbnails. So this is the only video that I could do this with, because it's the only video that not only is this a shot from the video of me with the full cart with the Spooderman, this is a shot of me while I'm doing the haul portion of me holding the item. This was not me posing with the item. This is literally just, I happen to not have a weird face while I'm holding up this item. Most of the time, I talk and move so much in my videos, it is so hard to do a screenshot. Oh, third super on a live stream. That's interesting. Is it my live stream? Is it any live stream? It does a little bit, but not really, because I can sleep at night. And because these are Stubbs and Wooten, they do retail for $575. Some of them retail for, $900. But I could This is the only video that I could do all of those things in, and I wanted to see if it was successful. And it was. So I know that in the future, see, I got 1,000 views in this one, which is above average for my channel. Again, it's above average for my viewership. So that tells me if I can do it, I should do it. But if you also notice in here, while I got more views, I still got, you know, roughly 10% comment or likes, but my comments went down a lot for this video. So let's go into the analytics for this one, because I didn't actually do a deep dive in this one. So this one, again, more than normal, and it got another little bump over here for some reason, which is weird. That just means like YouTube threw it out again. Actually, you know what this was? This was when Josh shouted my channel out. And so people were looking at my other videos because they went to my channel because Josh shouted me out. That's what this is. And there are other people that like to watch Josh's content saw this video and then watched this video. So not only did I get more when it initially published, but then it got another bump because new people that were arriving to my channel from somebody else shouting me out also wanted to watch this content. That was a lot to talk about, Justin. Hi, baby girl. Do you want to say hi to people? Oh, no, of course. Thank you. Oh, my God. Here's Miss Ma'am. Because I know she's just as important to YouTube's as everything else. This is Moxie. If you don't know, here she is with her eyes that don't look in the same direction. Oh, you're sweet, Jenna. That's the working for Adidas for 4 years. That's what that is. That was my job, was to be a visual merchandiser for Adidas for a store. So there's Moxie. Yes, there's Miss Moxie. All right, so let's look at this. So we got audience. Let's look at the audience for this video. All of these are returning viewers, returning and new viewers, and again, you can't see what I'm doing because I haven't switched back over. There we go. All right, so again, this is just subscribed, not subscribed, and women. I have a really high female audience, which, considering I do mostly eBay content, is pretty neat for me personally. Aw, thank you. I love her. I hope she's having a good time in England. Oh, yes. I thought that was easiest. Jenna, thank you again. All right. Let's go back to this. So that's something that I did. All right. So now let's talk about the whatnot stuff. All right. So this is the video that Josh shouted me out. Now, you might be like, Josh has almost 400,000 subscribers. Why did this video do so poorly if he shouted you out and showed your channel? Because it was whatnot. That's why. People that do eBay have some kind of big hang up with whatnot, and I understand, like, I get it. I get it that there are some people that just don't like the live sale aspect of it, or they find it scary, or they just don't want to deal with it. It is a lot of work. It can be a lot of work, but the reason why, even though Josh has so many subscribers, that my video didn't perform well is because, one, this video had already been out, and he was just shouting me out because he was kind. And also, I think it's just because, you know, a lot of people don't believe that you can do whatnot and be successful in whatnot unless you have a large audience already. And that it is a lot easier if you come in with an inherent audience, but you can build an audience. I don't think people realize that, like, okay, when you started eBay, did you immediately get a bunch of sales? No. When you started Poshmark, did you immediately get a bunch of sales? No. So if you do a live and it it's not going to work the same. First of all, like, you have to promote it because it's a combination of a social media and also I'm sorry, I'm going to have to put on my blue light glasses because my eyeball's starting to hurt. So um, it's a combination of a social media platform and a selling platform. It's just like Poshmark was when it first started, before people started making bots for it. So you didn't have to do all that social crap with it. Feels like cheating for like. Can you elaborate on that? Because I don't understand. It's cheating? How is it cheating? Because if they listed that same stuff on eBay, it would still sell on eBay. Like, that's the thing. That's what I don't understand. Like, especially if you look at someone like the Crazy Lamp Lady, who now has her own platform called Knickknack. Like, she used to exclusively sell on Etsy, and then she decided to make the leap over to eBay, because what was happening is that she would list something on Etsy and then it would immediately sell. So then she decided, like, that's not fair. Like, people don't have a chance to get it because maybe they didn't see the video until like a week later or something. And then so she moved over to eBay. This is my perception of what Jocelyn did on the Crazy Lamp Lady. I don't know for a fact because she has no idea who the heck I am. But I do watch what other resellers do. And then so she started doing eBay and then doing auctions only. She didn't do buy it nows. And some things would sell for less than what buy it nows are selling for, and some things would sell for way more because it's something that her audience wanted to buy. And then Whatnot came out and she decided to do that. And so instead of having to wait 7 days to get her money, she could then do it the day of. So from a business aspect, would you rather wait 7 days for your money or get your money that day? Like, one of those makes more business sense. So that's basically what Whatnot is. Like, if you are able to build up Whatnot to a successful point, and you can do it innately on the platform, you just have to treat it like a social media. You have to be on the platform. You have to talk to people in that group. So, like, I have a lot of success with books on Whatnot, and there are a lot of people, and most of those people that are in the book community on Whatnot are on BookTube. I have a BookTube channel, and I've known a whole bunch of them. They watch my BookTube channel. We talk about books in thing. Even if I'm not buying anything, I'll just go in there to watch to see what they have. And I see the same people in all of the same Whatnot auctions, and I talk to them, and you get to know them just like you do here on YouTube, and you build up a rapport. And so when I go live, then I see all the same people, and sometimes they buy stuff and sometimes they don't. But it's still a community of books. It just depends on if I have something they want to buy or not. Okay, what platform makes you wait 7 days for a payout? Okay, so she would do 7-day auctions on eBay, okay? Because there's no live selling platform on eBay. So she would do 7-day auctions on eBay. So she would have something go live on Monday, so that way it would end on a Sunday. So then when she shipped it out, it would have to, like, then she would get her money, right? Because she could do the payout then. But she'd have to wait for the auction to end in 7 days versus Whatnot. The auction ends within, however long you want to do it for. So I do 20-second auctions on my Whatnots. So you either do a 7-day auction or you can do an immediate auction. There is no immediate auction option on eBay. So that's why I'm saying you have to wait 7 days for a payout or get your money immediately. And that's what most people are doing, is they're using Whatnot in addition to eBay. They're not using it exclusively as their only selling platform. There are some people. I didn't know there were some people like that. Most people I know use Whatnot as a supplement for their income. But there are some people that do Whatnot exclusively. I think Renzi does Whatnot exclusively. Flip the World does Whatnot exclusively. These are just people that I know about because I went to FlipCon. So Did I answer your question, Naimi? But there's that. Hi, Jess. So that's why. That's why this video, despite getting an amazing shout out from a large channel, it doesn't look like I converted a bunch of people, and that is because the topic that was being shouted out, it was not a popular topic for that audience, which is also part of why the shout out was made, was because there was a hope that this would convert people, because I don't have a whole lot of people on Whatnot. Like, I started out with 0 people. I started out in December of 2021, and I was approved because they were trying to grow their women's category, their women's vintage category on Whatnot. And I was, as I mentioned in my video, the only woman on the call for my onboarding. So, and like, it took me a while, one, for them to get enough women on the app to where I could sell women's clothing on there, which didn't happen until this year because it's grown so much. But before that happened, I found finally success selling books, like I talked about. So it's like, if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you, or you can try seeing what will work for you. I have no idea. Salam, I've never had that happen. All the customer service on Whatnot is through Whatnot. So I have never had an issue. I've personally never had an issue because I've never bought something on Whatnot from a seller that didn't disclose all the items, so I knew exactly what was the problem. I do know that, I've heard stories of people on Whatnot having not great experiences because sellers didn't disclose flaws. I personally, if I see a flaw while I'm showing something that I didn't notice when I listed it, just don't run the item. I just am like, okay, sorry guys, this is not going to happen. I don't feel comfortable selling this, but that's me. Some people don't care and just are like, whatever, you get this. What's the onboarding like? I don't know what the onboarding is like now. I understand that you can choose whether your auction runs 1, 3, 5, 7, or 10, but then you also have to wait for the money, okay? Because someone can win an auction and then never pay for it. And how long do you have to wait on eBay for that to happen? 4 days. So even if someone runs a 1-day auction on eBay and someone wins that auction, because they don't have universal payouts yet, where like someone has to have a card on file because it's eBay, there's at least 5 days that's going to happen before you can relist that item. Versus on Whatnot, if you bid on it and your payment doesn't process, then they can just run the item again and someone else can win it. Or they can wait and see if your payment clears. Because sometimes like there's weird things that happen on Whatnot. But regardless, and then on Whatnot, if you have sold 1,000 items, you get immediately paid out as soon as you click the shipping label. As soon as you print the shipping label, that money is in your Whatnot account. If you haven't shipped 1,000 items, then it clears either 3 days after it is delivered to your buyer, or it is cleared as soon as the buyer rates you. It is not immediate like Poshmark. It will be immediate if you sell a lot on the platform. And again, they've done that because of the fact that there were some issues because of people not disclosing stuff. Or, people being in an environment that smells interesting and also not disclosing that. And so people were getting items that smelled fun. It's a new platform as well. Like, it has not been around that long. Poshmark had a lot of issues as well when it first started. I just think that because it's a different kind of platform, now it's a little bit less new because Poshmark has decided to add Poshmark Live, so it's not like a new concept anymore. But I just think it had some growing pains, and they're starting to like finally get out of them. I've talked about Whatnot for way too long. Okay. We're going to go back to YouTube, and flipping for change. I can't talk to you about what the onboarding is like because I did mine 2 years ago, and it's different now, and I know it's different now from other people that have onboarded recently, so I can't speak to that and have it be accurate for right now. So that's why I just don't want to talk about that. Like it was me and 36 other dudes on a Zoom call where they were like saying let's go every 5 minutes and wanting to show each other their Funko Pops. Like that's not going to be your experience now because people sell more than just Funko Pops on the app. Like that's why it's like that's not going to be your experience now. That was my experience and it sucked. But I was like, I'm still going to give the app a try. So there's that. Oh, I'm sorry. I think they like, we're bringing on so many people. I don't know what their onboarding process is now at all. Yeah. I just don't want to give you inaccurate information because I know it's slightly different now, and there we go. All right, so back to talking about YouTube. If hopefully I didn't alienate too many people by doing that. But yeah, so I did this. What this taught me was you guys really care about me, which is amazing. You guys want to watch more content that has to do with me and disclosing more of my life, which I can try to do. Talking about how expensive things are in the store, my core audience doesn't care about or want to hear about, so I won't do that again. This, if I can get away with it, I need to. And I will do Thriftmas again next year. I don't know if I will do every day again. If I start doing Thriftmas next year and I have the same $2.52 an hour result, I will stop doing it midway through. I'll just rage quit. But, I would hope that I would be in a different place. And, that's another thing that I wanted to talk about. All right. So, the reason why I wanted to do this overall is because I wanted to figure out what do I need to do to grow the channel, because the channel has kind of plateaued as far as my core audience goes. My channel has gotten 500 to 800 views as my core audience since October of 2022. And how do I know that? That is because I went to California in October of 2022, and I can actually show this to you guys. And that's where my core audience changed. I went from like roughly 200 to 300 as my core audience views. That's when I changed to 500 to 800. I went from 200 to 400 to 500 to 800. And it was because I was in a video when I went and visited Matt. Because I went to California and I went thrifting with Matt and I went thrifting with Courtney, and Matt had me on his channel. My channel, despite having 4 videos that performed really well, my core grouping of people has not changed since October of 2022. So I need to figure out how to do something different this year to fix that. So let me show you here. Rage quitting. I don't know, Jenna. It was too far away from my making that statement. I don't know what else to do. Thank you, Melissa. Yeah. So, all right. So let's go here. Okay. 2022. YouTube's going to think about it for a minute. All right. So let's go here. This is also why I stopped making the thrifted treat videos, is because you guys just did not care about them. All right. So this is 2022. You can see here my average viewership is roughly between, like, a poor performing video was around 200. A decent performing video is 300 to 400 views, okay? That's pretty normal. 500 views, 600 views, those were great videos. 700 views, that was amazing. But that was, again, me talking about how I had too much stuff. I've had too much stuff for a while. This performed super well because it was me talking about Poshmark. And again, I have a predominantly female audience, so this spoke, and this also how to make Poshmark work better. Of course, Poshmark is now owned by Navarre, so this doesn't work anymore. It's not the same. The algorithm has changed. Also, Poshmark Live exists now, so all of that information is no longer valid. But these, I went here. This, I went to California. I was in California when these videos came out. So this, I left for California. This is just me doing an update to tell everybody I was in California. And then look what happened as soon as Matt released that video. I went from regularly getting 300 to 400 views to 1,000 views. And this is when that shifted. So when this happened, people kept hanging out, which is very humbling. So you guys saw me on Matt's channel, and then you just stayed. But I haven't convinced more of you to like me since then. I have a few videos that are thrown out that do well. Like this one is one of the first Thriftmas, or one of the early Thriftmas videos. And this one performed well. But again, this was me in front of a group of crap and in the store, and then a title. So that seems to be a winning combination, is me in front of a store, a shot of the store, and then either big letters or me holding something up. Thank you. Yeah. Matt's great. I'm so glad that the last 6 months have done so much for him. Just both of his channels are doing really well. Well, his reselling channel isn't doing what it used to, but he's not making as much reselling content. But his book channel's been doing amazing. He seems so much happier. I'm just really glad that he made that leap, and it has done well for him. So there's that. I've talked a little bit about YouTube. My closing statements would be, again, if you're doing YouTube because you want to get rich, it's gonna be real struggly for you for probably forever, because most people that make a YouTube channel can't make a living off of it, or don't make the predominant of their money off of it. And if you really want that, you're gonna have to do certain things that either you will or will not be okay with. Like, you will have to play the YouTube game. If you don't want to play the YouTube game is gonna crush you. It's gonna crush your spirit. It's gonna crush your soul. I mean, Paul does a great job, but he's super consistent. He has the TubeBuddy app, and he analyzes all of his stuff, and he cares about YouTube, and he's been really successful on it. And, you know, a lot of collabs helped him in the beginning, but he was hungry for it. So that's really performed well for him, but it's not for everyone. So you wanted to ask about the bins video. I forgot about that. I'm so sorry. Somebody asked that earlier, and then I just totally went, my brain went, hi. Okay, so the bins videos. How did the bins videos do? The one that performed the best was this one. Performed the best views-wise was this one. Performed the best as far as this goes, not so much. So I got less than 10% likes, and I got very few comments. And that is because I think this video went out to people that were not my normal audience. Please excuse me. I need to go blow my nose really quick. I'm sorry, I don't have the air purifier going on right now because it would be very loud, and I have allergies. I'm allergic to literally everything, so hey, it's not stealing. I don't own that. I haven't trademarked it. Anybody can do. eBay is my main bay. I think Kay uses it too. I mean, I don't own that. It's just, it rhymes and it's cute. So let's go to the analytics for this one. This one performed really well. Let's go to the audience. Again, went out to new viewers. So subscribe, not subscribed. So that is why this video performed well but had really poor engagement, because it was shunted out to new viewers and they didn't stay. They didn't do the YouTube things because they were new, and I didn't apparently keep them. So I mean, the overall shopping content did pretty fine. It didn't do, oh, that's down here. So the shopping content, so this is 50-piece bins haul and announcement. Normally the announcement videos do pretty well, but again, 10%. So it performed well, got more than average viewership, performed well, got more than average viewership, performed well. So you're right, all of the shopping videos, except for this one, what did I do different in this one? The thumbnail sucked, the title sucked. But to be fair, this thrift trip sucked. I was struggling. I remember this one. This was rough. I was having a hard time finding stuff in this video. So this one performed poorly because the bins performed poorly that day, and like it was so bad I couldn't figure out what to do here, so I was just like, this is good enough, and put it out. And my core audience, you guys showed up for me, but it didn't go beyond that because I couldn't do anything. Can I video while shopping in the bins? Are you doing it live? No, I cannot do that. Technically, the only reason I can film at the bins is because I have, here, I don't think you guys have actually ever seen the thing. It's downstairs. You do have the shirt. Give me a second. I'll be right back. I'm going to show you the reason why I can film at the bins that I go to. Also, the reason why you kind of are only seeing footage of the wall there, if you notice, most of those shots are of the green wall. It's because I'm facing away from the main aisle of the bins, and I'm facing the wall. And that is so that way the employees cannot see me. Or not, like, if they see me, they're just seeing the back of my body. Because if they realize I'm filming in there, they will probably tell me to stop. So the reason why I can film in the bins is because what I have doesn't look like, it looks like a heart monitor. It doesn't look like a camera. And I also try to make sure when I'm filming, I'm not really catching a whole lot of extra people in my videos. So that's why. But I have to, like, be careful so that way I, 1, can film, and 2, don't get kicked out. So let me show you what that looks like real quick. This is the camera, okay? This is the camera I use for our POV camera. All right, it looks kind of like a GoPro would, except this part comes out. This is the camera recording piece, comes out. This is as big as it is, all right? I don't have anything for this to magnet off of, so we're just gonna put it in here. So if I take this and put it on the right side of my body, the Brio camera is gonna freak out. Normally it has like a magnet thing here for me to do this with, but I don't have that on me right now. Oh, I turned it on. It's going to record you badly here. All right, it doesn't want to stay. So, oh well. But if I put it here on my left-hand side, like, that's all you see. Versus if you see people that have a GoPro, they have that big harness and that stupid thing right here. It's the GoPro. That's going to tell me you're filming. Or I think Paul has a wrist one that he uses when he's driving. Or they'll put it on their hat, right? Or they'll put it on a clip on their head. So it's so big. Like, people are going to know you're filming versus this. I think Lorraine noticed I was filming, but I think it's because she saw it and talked to me about it. But I was actually really surprised she realized I was filming. But it's so much smaller than a GoPro. And because it's so inobtrusive, most people don't notice it, so I'm able to film. So, right. And I try to make sure everybody understands, like, you know, I do things for certain reasons, and I do things the way I do for certain reasons. And I know people want to be helpful. And it's always from a good place, or it's almost always from a good place. So as far as YouTube goes, the experiment taught me on YouTube that overall for the last year, that my channel, the content I make on my channel, does not appeal to YouTube. It appeals to my core YouTube audience, but it does not appeal to YouTube as a whole. If I want to appeal to YouTube as a whole, I have found a few things that have worked on my channel. Talking about my mess, which is what I'm going to focus on, is what I need to focus on in general. So that just works out for me. And also when I go back to thrifting, which I will be doing because I'm going to be doing weekly Ben's trips to do whatnot while working on my mess. So we're going to continue to do Ben's content. And I'm going to continue to work on my mess. And when I go thrifting in regular thrift stores after I've made some progress on my mess, is to focus on high sell-through rate items, because that will be a good counterbalance to me listing older inventory that I've had for a while, and also to allow me to continue to sell vintage, because that high sell-through rate, vintage is normally going to sit, but I love reselling vintage, and I want to continue to be able to do turning projects into profits. And so that's what I'm going to continue doing. So I'm going to focus on high sell-through rate, so that way I can make high sell-through rate content, because that also seems to be receptive on my channel. And then because of the fact that I'm doing these weekly, like, where am I at with my mess, and I'm posting more of my real life content, that will also do well. So that is why when I set those goals, I set them that way. It's because I was going into my YouTube analytics and figuring out, okay, this is what's working for me. This is what's not working for me. Not just in my business, but also on YouTube, because this is part of my business. And so that is why I've decided to make the content and the changes I have made going into this year. What is the brand of camera I just showed you? This is called an Insta 360 Go 3. It has two very big drawbacks, though. Despite me being like, this thing's amazing for me. The two major drawbacks are it has 30-minute increments. So it'll record for 30 minutes and then start a new recording. So it records everything in 30-minute increments. It'll continue to record, but it'll be a new 30-minute segment. The second problem is that it overheats quickly. So, you know, right now that it's bloody cold outside, not a problem. But this would be very difficult if, say, you live somewhere like Paul does in Florida and it's 100% humidity and 100 degrees outside, and he's wearing this on his body. It would overheat in like 5 minutes. It would get too hot. So, or if you're in a thrift store, like for me, my issue was that I'd be wearing this on my body. I already run hot most of the time. I have my POTS, I have a hard time controlling the temperature of my body, and I have a tendency to like be normal temperature to too hot to normal temperature to too hot to normal temperature to too hot. I rarely ever get super cold, which is why a lot of times I'll be without a jacket at all. I was that kid on the playground that never wore a jacket because I had POTS and I didn't know it. Um, so this thing will not work for me if it is 75 degrees or warmer, either in the building I'm in or outside. It will just cut off after like 5 to 8 minutes because it gets too hot. I can then put it back in here, let it charge some more, and then put it back on, but it'll just cut off after another 5 to 8 minutes because it'll get too hot. So it overheats. So if you live somewhere hot, this might be a problem for you. If you don't live somewhere hot, it's not going to be a problem for you. It'll be great. Also, if you don't run hot, it won't be a problem. If you want to put this, like, I know I saw Rally Roots do this where they had a GoPro and like a little hole cut out in a fanny pack to where it's not going to be on your body where there's body heat. It will probably do better. And if it's not going to be in the sunshine. So if you can figure out something like that, it would work. But otherwise, I think this camera's great. When it's unpaired from the dock, it has roughly an hour record time before it'll die because it'll run out of battery and you'll need to put it back in here. But it's like a pair of AirPods where this house has its own battery life and this thing has its own battery life. So you put it back in and it'll charge this thing, and then you can record with it again, if that makes sense. So there's that. All right. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I want to make these change and see how this does. I want to see how. I wouldn't make the changes and I wouldn't continue to post the content if I didn't enjoy it. Again, I just stated this at the beginning. Do I want to make more money off of YouTube? Yes. Do I want more people to watch my YouTube? Yes. But I don't want to do either of those things and not feel good about it at the end of the day. Like, I could do both of those things, but I could do the YouTube thing the way the YouTube thing wants me to do it. And I would not feel good about that. So I am trying, and I'm trying to do the YouTube thing in a way that I will feel good about it. I can continue what I'm doing and just not care about making any money off of YouTube and just continue on. But then I would make a lot less YouTube content because I would be focusing on my reselling business, which, because that would be what's paying my bills. And then really only making YouTube content if I was having difficulty in my reselling business to hold myself accountable. Because again, part of the reason why I do YouTube is also because I need this accountability piece. So I think I have figured out both the kind of content I can make that would be genuine content with the frequency that would be more sustainable and have a higher return on my investment for the amount of effort I'm putting into it. And also genuinely being able to make the kind of content that YouTube seems to like and make the appropriate thumbnails and titles and content for that. But I had to do, the last year of content and then do this final experiment to figure out what those things might be. As far as the try-ons go, yes, I will be doing more of that with those sections in them because I also like doing that. I'm sad that the try-on, the subscription boxes all sucked or died because I also liked doing those. But when I find more stuff for myself, I will be doing more videos doing that on. I would like to add more of the try-on content to my channel, but I have to have space to do that in, which means that room needs to be empty. Which is why that's the focus. That's my main filming room. That's the room I'm focusing on. And I will be able to do more and be more when I get that done. So that is why I'm also focusing on that room first versus the, 10 other rooms in my house. All right. So if you guys... Thank you, Jenna. That's kind of you. But it's really not. Like, I also just really like the back end stuff. Like, doing this analytical analysis of my YouTube, way more interesting to me than anything else. Like, this is what has worked for me. This is what did not work for me. I do read you guys' comments. Again, I'm sorry if I haven't answered all of yours, but I do read them all, and I do care about what you guys say, and I do always try to remember, even if maybe it's a negative comment, that most of the time it comes from either like, I didn't like this, you're just telling me, and not to take it personally, and or you're like trying to give me constructive feedback. Like, I get that. All right, so does anybody have any other questions as far as YouTube goes? Uh, my next video will be one of 3 videos. It'll either be the Ben's haul for my first whatnot, my first clothing whatnot, or it'll be a what sold video for the end of the month, of last month, or it'll be a check-in for where I've gotten so far in the mess room, because I've been working on it for the last 2 weeks. It hasn't changed that much in the last 2 weeks, despite me listing so much stuff. I've just done little chips in there. So unless you guys have any questions about YouTube that I can maybe be helpful to answer, we will be done. So does anybody have any other questions? Or let me scroll up to make sure I didn't forget anything. Let's see here. Did I forget anything in here? I answered that one. I answered that one. I am making the grumpiest of face, I know. This is my thinking face. This is my... Jen asked about filming. I did that. Victoria asked a bunch of really nice questions. I answered Restyle's questions about thumbnails. I think I answered most people's questions, so I guess... I don't think I missed some. I tried to do... Oh, Restyle, did I ever answer your questions about traffic sources? How I measure clothing? I don't have a video for that because I don't feel like it's necessary. Thank you, Hanson. Yeah, that's because I don't like the way this looks, because you can't see my face. It's just the microphone. Also, I in real life do not talk very loud. I have what's called an inner voice, and my inner voice is screaming at me all the time. So when I'm talking like this, I sound like I'm yelling in my own head. If I talk louder than this, it hurts my head. So this is what I talk like all the time, and I'm normally very soft-spoken around other people because my own head is too loud. So normally the only time you're going to get a louder me is if I put these on and put music in so my inner voice isn't so loud. I'm not going to make a measuring video. I'm sorry, ladies. I have no desire to do that. You measure this way and you measure this way. And I don't understand how to make that in a way that's helpful. Because I don't understand the question, I guess. Okay, so if nobody has... Oh, that's your first super live. Why are these buttons here? What is this? Oh, hey, I can add little hearts to y'all's stuff. Now I feel bad that I didn't do that for Diane. Here we go. Diane also gets a heart. Thank you, guys. Yeah. Okay. Um. Okay, so nobody has any other questions. That's where I am with my channel. If you want to do YouTube, I hope that nobody feels discouraged from doing YouTube doing this. I just, again, want to make sure that you guys know that if you want to do YouTube, do it because you want to do YouTube. And if you want to do YouTube, you got to do it because you like it, not because you want to make money off of it. Because the chances of you making lots of money off it are small. I mean, like I said, here, I'll show you this as a closing. Again, I had to upload every single day and put out 830 minutes of content to make $234, and I have 4,500 subscribers on the month that gives you the most money. So if I go to the entire year for 2023, I made $1,000. You can't see this because I have not switched the screen. There we go. Here we go. We'll do this again because I'm ridiculous. So $234, 830 minutes of content, doing a video every day, 4,500 subscribers. I made this much money. The entire year 2023, I made a little over $1,000. I didn't even make $100 a month doing YouTube. All right. I don't know how many videos I put out either. It's a lot of videos. Like this month I put out 31. The month before, I probably have that actually, you know, here, you know, actually, I think I have it in most of my book. I don't know. I put out hundreds of videos, literally hundreds of videos this year. Didn't even make $100 a month. See, look, that's November. $98. I put out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 videos. I made more money per video in November than I did in December. Okay. Measure closer. So, I mean, a lot of people don't know how to do that, Jenna. So there's that. So again, you can make money. I'm not making money. I'm making some money, and I'm grateful for it. Because trust me, this is, you know, if we look over the entirety of my channel, because I got monetized in, I think, September of 2021. It took me a year and a half to get monetized, and I've been monetized for 2.5 years now, I think. I've made $2,000. In 2.5 years, $2,000. I'm not going on yachts. I'm not buying expensive houses. It's not a lot of money when you start. It's not really something that you're going to get quite a bit more money for until you hit 10,000, and then you'll get more sponsorship opportunities that are not just somebody trying to push something on Amazon as a drop shipper. When you hit 5,000 subscribers on YouTube, YouTube has their own sponsorship platform that you are then eligible for. It used to be called FameBit. It's called something else now that you're able to opt into, that gives you sponsorship opportunities, but they're not great. They're also not market equivalent. So if you find a sponsorship on your own or reach out to a sponsor on your own, you will make more money versus going through YouTube. So there's that. Yeah, I think a lot of people we live in late stage capitalism. Americans in general are typically over and hyper consumers because capitalism. That's how capitalism works. And that's how capitalism thrives and continues to go forward, is if people continue to spend money. And so we all have too much stuff, and all of us just want simpler lives. I think after the pandemic, a lot of us are just like, it's too much. I have too much. I don't want to have this much anymore. I just want to be able to breathe and do things. And, you know, I really liked watching Lori Tata's video where she was talking about how resellers are probably the worst over consumers. She said it in a much nicer and more eloquent way than I just did. But because of the fact that we literally, our job is to shop, and we have a hard time when we buy something if we don't get to it right away, that it goes into a death pile. And then a lot of us have a hard time letting go of that thing if we haven't listed it in a while, because it's like, I paid money for this. That sunk cost fallacy. Like, we're like, I could make money off of this. So it just keeps adding. So I totally get that. Totally get that. I think we're all at that point. I know I'm at that point. So that's why I'm doing the series I'm going to do this year. But I'm going to say goodbye now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Robert, Diane, thank you so much for the super chats. That was very lovely of you. Thank you guys again so much for being here and for with another year. And this is how we're starting off 2024. As you guys know exactly how much money I made on YouTube for the year. Actually overall now. And you guys see like how I do YouTube and why I do YouTube the way I do YouTube, because I've explained to you guys why I don't tell you to like, subscribe, or whatever. It's because I don't use YouTube that way. I tell you, again, you do you. You use YouTube how you want to use YouTube. For those of you that like my content, those of you that subscribe to my content, those of you that comment on my content, those of you that just watch it, thank you. And I hope this was helpful and interesting. And if you have any other questions, or if I didn't talk about something specific about YouTube and you want to know more about it, please let me know. I'd be happy to talk to you about it, or do some research and try to answer it the best I can. Good night, friends. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I will probably see you either on Monday for a video. Like I said, it'll either be a what's old video, a bins trip, or an update on the mess. So I like how we went blurry. Good night, friends. Bye. And if you want to see me before then, you can follow my book channel, because I'm going to upload another review.